Good morning from the luxurious travel lodge here by the airport in Fort Myers. I'm here this weekend to exhibit at ArtFest Fort Myers, and I'm just getting ready to head out the door and get down to the show. I've got my lunch here in the refrigerator, and maybe a quick little tip of something I do so I never forget my lunch when I'm at a hotel is I put my keys in the refrigerator with my lunch, because I can't tell you how many times I've left my lunch in the refrigerator and gone to the show and then didn't have anything to eat all day. So I always put the keys to my van in the refrigerator with my lunch so that I can't leave without remembering to take my lunch because my keys are in there. In case you're wondering what it is, I have some Indian dal that I ordered last night with my dinner. I started getting 2 meals for dinner so that I could bring one down to the show for lunch the next day. This way I have something good and healthy to eat during the show. I have about a 20-minute ride to get down there, so I want to get moving so that I'm not too late for the artist breakfast this morning. I've been really behind with editing these videos and putting them out. My goal was to put out one of these videos every week throughout the winter season here, and finding the time to edit them has been really difficult. As you know, I have a little guy at home that I look after all week. That, on top of getting ready for and doing a show every week, has really taken up all of my time. So finding time to even edit these videos has been a little challenging. So I try and spend my time during the weeks splitting my time between spending quality time with Milo and doing revenue-producing work like getting ready for the next show and filling orders and creating new pieces. And it's been a real struggle to even find time to do normal like show prep during the week. And I find that when I try and spend my days like partially, spending time with Milo and then partially trying to get work done while, I'm hanging out with him, I end up having a really bad day because I don't enjoy my time with Milo and I really don't make any progress on getting work done. And at the end of the day, I just end up frustrated and angry and disappointed. But on days where I focus solely on spending my time with Milo or solely on doing work, I have a much better day. So finally, after a long time of not shooting any new work, got to go out and shoot some new work this week, and it felt really good to be out there again, photographing. I know a lot of people assume from watching these videos that I'm like a super outgoing and like super positive, like A-type personality person. And I know I've talked about this in videos before that the truth couldn't be further from that. I'm actually super introverted, super anxious about a lot of stuff, especially social anxiety is like a huge issue in my life. But at art shows, I really have to force myself to come out of that shell and be engaging with potential collectors and other artists and stuff, because I would not have a very good art show if I just sat in the back of my booth and didn't talk to anyone. And these videos would be super boring if I wasn't, look at that, I buttoned my shirt wrong. These videos would be really boring if I wasn't engaging and upbeat in them. So I kind of feel like when I'm doing an art show or when I'm doing these videos, in a way I'm kind of acting. And I was listening to the Independent Artist podcast recently, and I know I talk about them all the time, but they're a super great resource for artists. So if you haven't checked them out already, I would highly recommend listening to them. But I was listening to the Cami Rahor episode, and she talks about how in her booth she found her true self and was able to come out of her shell and just kind of discover who they were.
I had realized that I've been pretending my whole life who I was, and that the person that was in the booth was actually my best self. But I was like, well, what if I just pretended I was in my booth for the whole week, just to see what it was like to be this person, this persona that we pretend to be in the booth? I ended up having the best week of my life.
And I always feel like I'm acting in my booth and I'm acting like an extrovert and someone who is super outgoing. But, you know, maybe what is really happening is I'm forcing myself to be uninhibited in my booth. And maybe that is the real person inside of me. And I've never thought of it that way until she put it in those terms, that maybe who I am in my booth is my true self inside, completely uninhibited, because I just know that I have to force myself through my anxiety in order to have a successful art show. So honestly, I'm not really 100% sure what the truth is yet and who maybe I really am, but I will continue thinking about that and working on that. And, you know, I find that when I am outgoing and engaging with people, my sales are way better than those days where I feel super closed off and don't want to talk to anyone, because the truth is I really don't want to talk to anyone. That's why, you know, I dress very plain in my normal life. Part of that is to not stand out and to not have people come up and start chatting with me because I look, you know, super unique and vibrant and stuff. But inside I feel very bright and colorful and, you know, fulfilled. My wife Katie actually pointed this out to me recently because we were discussing exactly this, that I dress very plain on the outside, but I feel very bright and vibrant and colorful on the inside. But my artwork is very bright and vibrant and colorful. And she said that, you know, your inside is really expressed through your artwork. And that never really occurred to me before, because my art is really bright and vibrant and colorful. And I just thought that that was a really interesting observation that she made. I think a lot of artists are maybe introverted or struggle with anxiety because artists are probably more sensitive people, and with that sensitivity comes a lot of anxieties, unfortunately, especially in this modern world. So I really feel like I'm not alone in that struggle.
If everyone would just be a little bit better of a human, and it starts with just be kind to strangers. That's my message ultimately, and I think that's why it's resonating so much.
Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I finally got a bunch of time to edit these videos, and I'm going to be putting out a video every week for a while here. And you're not going to want to miss these, especially the one I have coming up next week, where I'm going to be sharing a whole bunch of art festival hacks that I've learned over the past 17 years of exhibiting in outdoor art festivals. And if there's anything you want to hear about or you want me to cover, or if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments.